So when starting the net ionics practice, I realized that there is something missing on our solubility rules when it comes to fluorine. If you look at your list on your solubility rules, it says halide ions are soluble. So fluorine should be in there, but unfortunately I did not type it in, and that's because fluorine is slightly different when it comes to exceptions. So I just wanted to add that in. So I fixed the document that is posted on Google Classroom so you can use it still, but now you're going to see this little extra area for fluorine. So if you're using your document that I gave you in class, throw that one out and use the one from Google Classroom. All right, so for net ionic equations, first step you have to do is you need to write out the compounds. I decided to do that first step for you in all of the problems, so you can see them all here, and here is the back side. You can pause and copy or go back if needed. So let's do the first one together. Okay, first off, there's a typo. This should say aqueous. Every single reactant is always going to be aqueous. Looks like I forgot to write it on this bottom one here. All right, so your next step is to do what we've been doing the last couple of days, which is to switch the first ones. As you can see, I made calcium sulfate and hydrogen fluoride. Then you're supposed to check the charges. Calcium has a 2+, sulfate has a 2-, so it cancels perfectly. Hydrogen has a 1+, fluorine has a 1-, so again, it cancels perfectly. The next step that you're supposed to do is balance. Hydrogen, there's a 2, so I put a 2 in front. Fluorine is a 2, so that 2 also goes to the fluorine. So that's all stuff we've been doing over and over and over again. So the next process is to check your solubility rules. As you can see, I started checking it, and that's when I found the error on my solubility rules. So if you go over here and look at the sulfates, calcium is the exception. So that's why I wrote solid. Now, if you go back to our list where I added the new part, fluoride is soluble except for these. Hydrogen is not on the list, so that means that this part is aqueous. Okay, so the next part that's new-ish would be just breaking them apart. So the total ionic equation is breaking apart the ones that are aqueous. So I'm going to write that here. Break up AQ. Okay, so since this is AQ, we're going to break it up. We have 2 H pluses. Okay, we have 1 SO4 2-. So I just broke it apart into its ions. The next one, we have 1 calcium, which has a 2+. We have 2 F-. So they're both aqueous, so we broke them apart. Now we're on the other side. This is a solid. You never break apart the solid. So we're going to leave it as CaSO4 solid. Then we have these here. So 2 H's, 2 H pluses, and 2 fluorides. So again, we broke it up because it's aqueous. All right, the net ionic is to cancel anything that's the same on both sides. So we have 2 H pluses, 2 H pluses. Cancel, cancel. We have 2 F's, we have 2 F's. Cancel, cancel. This is part of the solid, so it does not cancel. So the net ionic will be SO4 2- plus Ca2+ makes CaSO4 solid. So if you notice, this will always add up to the solid in the reaction. Always. That'll never change. So your net ionic will always be whatever is in your solid. But you need to show your process. Let's do another one. So you have HCl and AgNO3. Let's switch them. Okay, so we have Ag with Cl plus H with NO3. Check your charges. Hg is a 1, tells you here. Chloride is a 1, balanced. H is a 1, NO3 is a 1, balanced, okay? Count up the H's. 1H, 1H, all set. 1Hg, 1Hg, all set. 1 chloride, and 1 NO3 and NO3. So everything's balanced. That's an easy one. So now we got to check our chart. HgCl. Cl, Hg, but see how it says 2 plus? What Hg do we have? We have Hg1. So that means that this one is going to be aqueous. Okay, now we have HNO3. Go to your list. Nothing here. Nitrate. Nitrates are soluble. So therefore, this is aqueous. And what, that's a G. Should be a Q. So, looking at this, we have all aqueous. So we have to do nothing because whenever you have 2 aqueous, it's no reaction. So, give it a try. And please email me with any questions. Again, I did the first step for you, except for now you have to switch to make the products. All right.